Hey everybody, RockPaperMario here, and welcome to Let's Play Final Fantasy X for the PlayStation 2. A game which I haven't actually done a playthrough of in a very long time, and as a result I've just been itching to play it again. So I said, well, if I really want to play this and I want to enjoy playing it, why not make an LP out of it? That's the best time to LP a game, really, is when you're kind of just dying to play it again, just like with Wind Waker as well. So yeah, here we are. For those of you who do not know this game, you're in for a treat. For those of you who do know this game, you also are well aware that you're in for a treat because of like how great this game is. I know it's kind of polarizing for certain reasons, but I think it's an amazing entry in the Final Fantasy series. I just love it. It starts out a bit weird, I know. I mean, it's a very kind of downbeat sort of beginning to the game here. And it's kind of like not the most, like, it's funny because like the like people sitting around a campfire is such a kind of a regular standard motif for Final Fantasy games, but not generally for the beginning of the game. Like, it's a very weird kind of way to start out the game here, where it's like, okay, who are these people? It's like Janet and Marty are here or something. And as I say, it's just a very downbeat sort of wistful beginning, rather than an action-packed beginning, which is normally the case. There's our hero looking like Patrick Swayze or something, like with his weird sculpted-y face. Is what he always reminds me of, like Patrick Swayze. It's so strange. Not that he even really looks like him. It's just like the way that his face is all like sculpted looking makes me imagine Patrick Swayze. God rest his soul. Yevon rest his soul. Let's not even get started talking about Yevon and all that garbage. The game will do that for me.
This may be our last chance.
I'm gonna have to remember to shut up as well for when they're talking. Yeah, guys, Final Fantasy X. Here we are. Yeah, just to get a few things clear from the get-go, I'm not going to be doing a really exhaustive 100% run of this where I do absolutely everything. That's not the kind of playthrough I'm in the mood to do. I'm kind of just going to enjoy playing the game, really. Like, I'll try and show off, like, lots of bits and pieces, but, like, I'm not going to go crazy getting all of the sigils and getting all of the crap and, like, no. So then all of a sudden we get this strange, like, change of scenery from where we just started to here. And it's kind of like, what the hell is going on? All of a sudden I'm in Pokemon Battle Revolution or something is what it looks like. And the music is even like that as well. And from like this strange wasteland, suddenly you're somewhere completely different. Or are we? That's the weird thing about it. That ass. It's like just Titus ass shot. Yeah, you know they want it. Seriously, it's a good thing like social media wasn't a thing when this game like came out, because or else like I could see Titus being that kind of like Instagram thirst trap posting media whore. At least at this point in the game.
No problem.
Yeah, so are we going to change his name? No, I don't think so. I think we'll stick with Titus here. What else would I call him? Zac Efron.
Alrighty.
Me too!
Take it easy.
It's like when you think who they would have got to play Titus in a movie, you totally know it would be someone like that. Even though like when you
Can I have your autograph?
yeah, sure.
Of course.
Even though like when you see like the kind of things that like
Nothing to
Disney
worry
stars are in now, like the kind of movies they're in, like King
nice goal.
Cobra and like that Jeffrey Dahmer movie, it's like, well, who knows?
Do this. That will mean it was for you, okay?
He's such a jerk.
What seat?
He's blocking the front row. Fifth from the right.
Got it.
Like, he's going to pay attention to that. Like, he's going to remember that's what they said to him, right? Like,
Well,
before the
gotta
game.
go. Cheer for me.
2, 3. Teach us how to blitz.
Hey, I got a game to play.
Yeah, it's like, what do they expect? It's like they're here to see the
Teach
game.
us after.
Maybe tonight. Well,
You can't tonight.
I mean tomorrow.
Promise?
Promise.
Oh no. A promise meant to be broken. Seriously, this weird like Pokemon Battle Revolution remix of the Final Fantasy Prelude. Like, I wouldn't think of Pokemon Battle Revolution if where we were didn't just look like somewhere out of Pokemon Battle Revolution as well. At least not at least down there anyway. But yeah, here we are in this sprawling metropolis, it seems. Which still, like, funnily enough, has this weird kind of, like, ancient quality about it. It's kind of, like, strange. It's, like, this mixture of it looks old, but it's modern at the same time. Jeez, talk about disdain.
I was in a coffee shop running away from home when I heard the news. Our hero, Jacked, gone, vanished into thin air. My dad must have been his biggest fan. I knew how sad he'd be. Heck, we all were that day. Zanar, I says to myself, what are you thinking? I went running straight back home. We sat up talking about Jack all night.
Talking
My
about
dad and I
Jack.
never talked so much. Whoa. Didn't mean to reminisce, folks. Anyway, 10 years later, the Jack Memorial Cup tournament is today. The two teams that have won through to the finals are, of course, the Abes from A East and the Duggles from C South. I know there's a lot of people out there today to see the star of the Abes. In just 1 year, he's become the team's #1 player. He's Jack's blood and the new hope of Blitzball. What kind of super play will he show us today? Will we see his father's legendary shot? I don't think I'm the only one excited here, folks.
Sorry, I just, like, I didn't want to, like, leave this area until he was finished, because that's actually, like, a really, like, that's obviously, like, the commentator or the sportscaster for Blitzball or whatever talking there.
Make way, make way.
And, like what he says, like, is, like, pretty relevant, I guess. Like, Jecht is this guy who everyone thought was amazing, and now he's dead, and this is his, like, memorial cup or whatever. And, like, he explains then, that somehow we as the star player for the Zanarkand Abes or whatever, that we're like somehow related to Jecht. So it's kind of like giving you like this it's like when you're like putting together a jigsaw and you start with like all the outside pieces, it's giving you like all this like outside surrounding information. And here was I thinking that was after the wet t-shirt competition. There's this crazy music. This music is ridiculous. It's like, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the... like, that's what it's like. Like, I remember that used to be, like, the theme for, like that used to be the theme for WWF SmackDown, was let the bodies hit the floor. And we've got this alcoholic drinking his sake up on the up on the catwalks there, doing his little turn. Just in time to see the tsunami come. And obviously not tell anyone about it. Great job. He thinks he's so cool. It's like, what about looking at those girls in East Block? Or East whatever. Showing them that that one was for them. It's such like a strange like atmosphere because like all these people, you know that this is going on, like all these people in the stadium are so blissfully unaware, and then you see like outside the stadium, you see what's coming, and you're like, fuck, like they're still all having a good time, they're still having the time of their lives, they're still having the time of their lives, and yet this is going on outside, and you know that like there's this impending doom. Because chaos is here. This is obviously like the crossover with Sonic Adventure. And still the music goes on in the background at like crazy, like let the bodies hit the floor music. Well, good game, everybody. Good game. It's really strange here because, like when you think of it, you have like the same ingredients as the scene earlier. You have like people running around screaming, but like this time it's like in terror, and previously it was because they were like screaming with like excitement. Which is like funny because it's like the same ingredients but a completely different context.
I was waiting for you.
What are you talking about?
Well, apparently we know the alcoholic. Now see, this is more like the start of a Final Fantasy game, either terror or excitement. And this little dweeb just can't let us alone.
Huh?
It begins.
What?
Don't cry.
Don't worry, I'll be careful. You'll be dead. It's like, jeez, I thought we saw the end of that in Shenmue 2.
What the? Huh? Hey, wait!
Okay, so time to get going here, get in on some action. I actually really like the pacing at the beginning of this game, like they do it quite well.
Look.
Like they've just like the right balance of kind of like making you wait to get active so that like you're excited to actually do something, but also like not making it way too long. And like of course like sin, yeah.
Sin?
That's what he said. Orange just like, yeah, what do you want me to say about that? Looking like Alec Baldwin or something. Like it's as much as Titus reminds me of Patrick Swayze. Looking at Oren always reminds me of Alec Baldwin for some reason. What do you expect me to do like against these guys? Yeah, thank you, Oren. Finally, it's like you can't expect me to make these decisions by myself. I'm only an elected official here.
A gift from Jet.
My old man?
That jerk. More like reject is what he is, like a Renford reject.
I hope you know how to use it.
I don't even know how to catch a ball. Okay, here we go. Time to get, as I say, time to get in on the action.
These ones don't matter. We cut through.
So basically, the it's funny because basically like they put so much like in all the Final Fantasy games preceding this, they put so much kind of stock in a kind of an active battle system, like all the way up through to 9. It was all about kind of like active real-time battle almost. And then in this they just completely get that, sweep that out of the way, because as you can see up on like the left hand side, up on the right hand side of the screen, they show you like, okay, who's going to take turns here. So you can see it's like Tidus, then Auron, then enemy A, enemy B, enemy C, then Tidus, and then the enemies again. So as I say, like they completely like do away with that whole active battle system here. Instead electing to have a very kind of structured kind of strategic battle system almost, you know? Which I must say I do like, and it's kind of a nice change of scenery. And as I say, like I really like the opening of this game.
Cut the ones that matter and run.
As I say, like I really like the opening of this game, like the way they actually pace it, and the way you feel like you're just kind of dropped into the middle of things right now. It's a real kind of change of pace compared to like how the game starts with the cutscene at the beginning, where it's just very kind of very kind of like forlorn and wistful or whatever, and then you have like the excitement of the Blitzball game, and then you're just dropped into this chaos, you know, which I suppose is indicative of what's going on here. That like this city, which is obviously, I mean, very clearly very successful and where people just have a good time, that's kind of just all of a sudden thrown into catastrophe here by some unknown thing called sin. It's like, what's that even supposed to be? And you just have such like a lack of information. Yeah, this thing just basically uses Demi all the time. As I say, it's pretty much, well, no, not as I say, I haven't said it yet, but it's pretty much impossible to die here. This is just kind of letting you get the hang of there he is, some can't wait to die. Don't worry, he'll say that like multiple times during the game. So here we have like access to Auron's overdrive Bushido, and you'll get like different sort of commands here depending on like how leveled up he is. Not even though leveled up is kind of like the wrong way to describe it. Am I going to remember how to do this? Jeez, okay. I was kind of worried there because like those attacks become like second nature after a while, but like but I've completely, like, as I say, the last time I played this game was probably like the last time I actually played through this game and did a playthrough of it was probably okay, now we'll do like spiral cut. Jeez, okay, see how like ridiculous that was. It's like when you get to, like, once you've done it a couple of times, you get to the point where it's just easy to do. Like, you can just, like, where it's easy to do, where you can do it, like, on the first go. But yeah, as I was saying, like, the last time I played this game, I'm pretty sure, like, the last time I played through, did like, a complete playthrough of this game, or was playing through this game, I'm pretty sure it was when I was Let's Playing Metroid Prime. Like, I have this, like, strange memory. I have this strange memory of, like, LPing Metroid Prime, and at one point, my commentary being about the fact that I had been fighting, like, one of the later bosses in this game. So, like, I'm pretty sure that was, like, the last time, and that's, like, what, like, 7 or 8 years ago? So, I'm really, like, looking forward to sinking my teeth into this again, because it is, like this, as far as Final Fantasies go, is like up there at the top of my favorites. Like, for those of you who haven't heard me say this before, my favorites are 6, 9, and 10. Like, they're like my top 3. And it's not like I prefer any one to the other, they're just my kind of top 3 favorites overall. But there we are, that's one jerk taking it. Okay, can I... Sorry, Auron, I was just trying to be different here and go around the other way, take the scenic route. Apparently I'm not allowed, though I am allowed to save, but let's just leave that where it is for the time being. Got plenty other chances to save here.
What are you laughing at, old man? Alright, let's get out of here.
We're expected.
Huh? Give me a break, man.
Seriously, Titus is just like you've got to love his character for like how unabashedly and unashamedly young and petulant he is, to that kind of way. He really is just kind of like, he has it all, he's always had it all, and yet he still thinks the world owes him something just because of like his family situation, to that kind of way. Oh god, how are we gonna get out of this one? I think we'll be okay. I'm pretty sure maybe I should have like at least touched the save sphere just to not get killed. Okay, so when it shows that, like when their wings start to flicker, you probably want to go for that one next, because that's almost like Earthbound, when it says like when like an enemy like gets closer to you, it means they're going to like do like a more powerful attack next time. Like when they edge closer, it's almost like that. It's like, oh, its wings start to flicker, so it's gonna do some like stronger attack or whatever.
This could be bad.
You're telling me?
That. Knock it down.
What?
Trust me, you'll see.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with like what Oren says. Let's just put it that way. He's more likely to know what to do than I am in a situation like this, given his experience. Yeah, see, that's the attack. But see, the thing is, like, no matter what you do, maybe I don't want to end up using a potion here. It's like on the first battle of the game. Yeah, attack him. He has like 300 HP. You can attack him more and get more enjoyment out of it. It's like if attacking things is what you get enjoyment out of it, it's like, why are you attacking poor Titus when you know you're not going to be able to attack him that many times? Now, Warren, this is the part where you explain why we wanted to do that. Since when did I acquire all these portraits of Jekt? Oh my god.
Go.
Yeah, go do. And you know, normally it's like in like a Final Fantasy game, you're like, wait a second, he's just like a regular guy. How is he able to do this stuff? At least like with Titus, I think it makes some sort of sense because he's like an athlete, so it makes sense that has more physical ability, I guess. Save me, Scar! Save me! As if like Oren or Scar, even though he does have a Scar.
Sure.
But I don't think like Oren is going to like throw me down to the wildebeest here. I just don't think he has it in him.
This is it.
And again, you've got to remember, this is like the first PlayStation 2 Final Fantasy game. So when you see scenes like this, like the cutscenes or whatever, like it does look really impressive when you think about like when this game was made, which was, as I say, what was it, like 2003, 2002 or something? And it's almost like when you see that cutscene in Final Fantasy VIII with the sword fight, it's like, oh my god, the technology!
Hey. Hey!
Alright, who's the jerk? Jeez.
My old man?
Yeah, I get used to this kind of like weird crap in this game. I should have said it like earlier, but like there are still elements of this game where I'm just kind of like, wait a second, what, why, how, where, and it's just like, don't get like too hung up on it, you know. Hey, there's Oren, my main man. When are you going to explain what the fuck is going on here?
Like where I was, what I got myself into. I started to feel lightheaded, and then sleepy. I think I had a dream of being alone. I wanted someone, anyone beside me, so I didn't have to feel alone anymore.
Yeah, and then you have like these Magnum PI sequences where Tidus just decides to talk to the audience. That's what always reminds me of, Joe, like in Magnum PI, the way he'd be like, so, sometimes an investigation goes like this, but this time, I was sure there was just one more obstacle in our way or some crap like that. And, like Magnum PI talking to you, it's like, you don't need to talk to me, just like do the program. Well, this is a fine mess you've gotten us into.
Oren! Hey!
In this garbage dump, no one can hear you scream. Anyway, I think that's enough for part 1 of Let's Play Final Fantasy X. Quite action-packed. The question remains, where the hell are we? What the hell is going on? I would say we'll start to answer that question in the next part, but actually we won't even begin to start answering any of those questions this early in the game, so just sit tight and enjoy the ride. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.